It's not loading the live.
Doesn't matter. It's on action here.
We're going live. It's Shea Butter 101. It's Shea Butter. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Nubian Roc Shea Butter Q&A series. Over this live, I am going to be sharing what shea butter is, some myths around shea butter, and why shea butter is one of the most powerful ingredients for skin and hair. Well, my name is Ekuyangwenya, and today we are kicking it off with history of shea butter. So, what is shea butter? If you know the answer, drop in the comment section. What is shea butter? So shea butter is butter that is from the shea nut tree. Are you surprised that shea butter is from the shea nut tree? Yes. Well, if you know what shea butter is for, write that in the comment section. Stay with me throughout the live and you will get the opportunity to win yourself unrefined shea butter from Nubian Roc, raw unrefined shea butter. So I'm so excited. Let's get down to it. So shea butter has been used over thousands of years. Do you know that? And it is an ancient African secret where queens like Cleopatra will use shea butter, stores them in jars for her skin and hair. Shea butter has been used for generations. The shea tree grows mostly in the central part of Africa, East Africa, and West Africa. Well, have you ever used shea butter before? If yes, drop a leaf in the comment section. And like I said, stay with me throughout this live and stand the chance of winning yourself unrefined shea butter, raw unrefined shea butter. I'm so excited about this to share lots and lots of information about shea butter. So to get to it, let's start with what is the difference between yellow shea butter and ivory shea butter? Or worst case, what is really shea butter made from? So shea butter is extracted from the nut of the shea tree. So this is how the shea nut looks like. This is how the shea nut looks like. So it's a tree that grows by itself. It takes about 20 to 30 years for the shea nut tree to bear fruit. So you can imagine how long it takes for us to get this shea butter, which takes 20 to 30 years before the tree bears fruit. The other factors about shea butter is we have two different types of shea butter. And the two different types, we have the yellow shea butter, which is the shea butter. This is how the yellow shea butter looks like. And it is yellow, and the ivory is this color. So we have the two types of shea butter, the yellow and the ivory. Now, why the two types of shea butter? The ivory shea butter is the normal shea butter when it's processed. And in the final milling process, the burututu tree bark is added to the process. And when that happens, it gets its yellow color from the burututu tree. So no, shea butter is not mixed. The yellow shea butter is not mixed with turmeric. That is not true. The yellow shea butter is also very, very emollient, and it is very oilier than the ivory. But not to miss any steps, I am going to take you through why this tree is called the tree of life and why is shea tree so special. I have done so much research and I'm so excited to be sharing. So the first question is, have you used shea butter before? And if yes, which shea butter have you used? Comment below and stay tuned until the end of the live and you will win a gift, something special until end of life. Don't leave. So shea butter is called a tree of life because the tree has so many purposes. The nut is where the shea butter comes from. This is the shea nut. This is how it looks like. I've got a couple of them here, and I got these nuts when I went to Ghana. So I went to Ghana to the shea butter farm to actually have a feel of what this tree is all about and what the process takes. And I'm going to share a video. I am going to share a video showing the trip to Ghana, the farm, how the nuts are picked and washed and cleaned and processed. So look out for that. I am going to do a video about that trip to Ghana. But all the same, let's carry on. So the shea butter comes from the nuts. The leaves of the shea tree, it's used for traditional medicine. It is used for curing, malaria and other skin ailments. And the bark of the shea tree as well is used to treat fever and wounds. The wood of the shea tree is used for building and making tools. So can you imagine? And finally, the husk, the shells. This shells is used for fire. It's a natural fuel source. And at the same time, when the shea butter is processed and extracted, the pulp that comes out of the shea nuts is also used for animal feeding. So for that reason, that is why this shea tree is so special. And in some African tradition, it's actually a taboo to cut down a shea tree because it is referred to as the tree of life. One other exciting fact about shea butter and its tree is it is called a woman's gold. It's a woman's gold because it's been used by queens to nurture their families. This tree it's called woman's gold because, again, 90% of shea butter production is run by women. Yes, it's a very tedious process, but it's only women. 90% of that production is done by women, and over 16 million African women depend on the shea butter for income. And this is used for education of the children, clothing. So it's so critical for the women of West Africa, Central Africa that produce shea butter to have this as a source of livelihood for them. And that is why it's a woman's goal. It's a woman's work. And with that, the shea butter cooperatives, empowers the women through that fair trade wage, which helps them to at least make minimum income by producing this precious butter that we all love to use. So by buying Nubian Roc Shea butter, it means that you are supporting hardworking African women. I mean, it's more than just a product. To be honest, for me, shea butter is a legacy. Hence, I glow. As you can see, my skin is glowing because it's all about the glow. Yes, so if you would like to win yourself raw shea butter, put your comments below. And also, if you've got any questions that you would like me to answer, feel free to put the question down there and I will have a look at it. So with the shea butter production is mainly done in the traditional way. When I went to the farm and we're engaging the instructor, or I'll say the guide, about shea butter, and we asked, why is it that shea butter after so many years still is produced in that traditional way and has not been mechanized or have machinery that is used in order to make this shea butter? And the answer was, there is something so pure about the butter that if you use modern technology to produce it, you don't get the same outcome. Meaning that it has to be manually produced. And I will share the video. You will see how tired I was just spinning the roaster for just less than 2 minutes. And I was exhausted. That is how hard work these women that produce these butters work so hard. So for the process of processing shea butter, firstly is the harvesting. So they have to harvest the nuts. The nuts falls on the ground and it's collected in the mornings by the locals, the children, mainly the women, collect all the nuts that have fallen from the shea tree. And then the next step is to boil and dry these nuts. After boiling and drying the nuts, you have to manually, they crack these nuts. They crack them and then grind them and roast it. And I think that is the process that I tried, and my goodness, I appreciated every single butter that I use. It takes me back to the farms and how hard our women are working to keep this tradition alive. And from the grinding it into the paste after it's been roasted, then it goes to the kneading and the extracting process. All these processes that I'm mentioning, again, they are all manually done. They are all manual and it takes a lot of work. After the kneading, the butter is kneaded and it's kneaded by hand until it forms a creamy texture. And that is where they let the butter set and then get the shea butter from the top. Did you know that it actually takes 15 to 20 hours of labor to produce only 1 kilogram of shea butter? Yes, it takes 15 to 20 hours to produce 1 kilogram of shea butter. That is how much work it takes. So the next question is, which African queen was known to use shea butter? Answer below and stand a chance again to win an unrefined shea butter from Nubian Roc. Let's go to the 2 types of shea butter now. The ivory shea butter usually has the unrefined has this ivory color, just like the name refers to. Sometimes others will say offish color, and it can be offish white, beige color. That usually we refer to as the ivory shea butter. The color differs because sometimes it's based on the climate and how the seeds grew properly well. If the climate is better, the nuts grows well and you get a very, very creamier ivory color. But sometimes, depending on the nuts, you will get to the beige color. When you say unrefined, it will have characteristics like the nuts, the scent of the nuts. It's very strong when it comes to the ivory shea butter, the unrefined ivory shea butter. I am going to talk about the refined shea butter, but for now, the ivory unrefined will have the shea nuts. Will have the shea nuts scent in it. Sometimes it will have a bit of particles because it has not been refined, it has not been processed, so it has not been stripped of its properties. Refined shea butter, on the other hand, will have a white color. It will have a white color and will often melt easily and doesn't have any scent. And that is what refined shea butter is. Then for refined yellow shea butter on the other hand, the color is enhanced with the borotutu tree bark. Borotutu tree bark. It is not because of turmeric why the yellow has its color. This is the yellow shea butter, and this is the ivory. Two different butters. So the borotutu tree bark is a herbal medicine which also grows in the rainforest of Ghana, and the tree bark is chopped, harvested by the local farmers, and during the grinding process, after the nut has been roasted and ready to be grinded, at that stage they add the borotutu tree bark in and grind it together into a paste in order to get that yellow color. Again, I am going to post a video about my trip to Ghana, Temale, to the Shea farm where we went to learn all about what shea butter is and where we source our shea butter from. So what are some of the key things you need to know about these shea butters and what are they used for? So shea butter is great for dry skin, it's great for sensitive skin, and it's used for the face and for hydration. I mean, as you can see, I love using shea butter. It makes my skin glow naturally. I don't have to add anything to it. And I love the way it makes my skin soft. If you have tried shea butter before, comment below and tell me, what is your experience about shea butter? Which type of shea butter did you try? And why do you like whichever one? Comment below and we will get to that. Shea butter is also good for the hair. And as we said, it's a tree of life. Everything about the tree is usable. It's medicinal. So shea butter can be used from head to toe. Shea butter is great for babies as well. In Ghana, babies are usually massaged with shea butter. So if you have a grumpy child, a baby that is, when kids are young, everybody likes holding them. And at the end of the day, they get so exhausted and they become cranky, they can't sleep, and we don't understand why. Just bath them and massage them with shea butter. And I promise you, the baby will sleep like a baby and will wake up. And you'll be a happy mommy, trust me. If you think what I'm saying is not true, try it. Get yourself shea butter, massage your baby, feed the baby, and put the baby to sleep, and you will tell me. The other thing about the shea butters are the differences. Yellow has got a more oilier texture. You know, it's slightly thicker and thinner than your ivory. And it has got, of course, richer in antioxidant because of the Borututu tree. So, which one do you prefer, the ivory or the yellow? Now, let's come to some myths and facts about shea butter. What myths do you know about shea butter and what facts do you know about shea butter? Please comment below. Comment below the myths or facts about shea butter that you know. And again, at the end of this live, someone is going to win a kilogram of shea butter, either ivory or yellow. And if you want to be the one that wins this, stay until the end of the show and you are going to be able to get your skin to glow like mine. Okay, so let's move on to the myths. The first myth or the first misconception about shea butter is shea butter clogs pores and causes acne. I'm not sure how many of you agree with that myth, that shea butter clogs pores and causes acne. Well, that is a myth. Shea butter does not clog the pores. Shea butter is what did you call it? It's it doesn't have the properties to clog pores. So the English will say it's non-comedogenic. That is the English. And for that reason, it does not clog the pores at all. It has anti-inflammatory properties and can actually help with acne. So for those that have acne, that have tried shea butter before, comment and let me know how did it work for you. I use shea butter daily on my skin, my face, head to toe, and it works brilliant for me. So I don't know about you, but just comment and let me know if that myth is actually a myth. Number 2, yellow shea butter is fake. That is a myth. Yellow shea butter is fake. Is it a fact or it's a myth? Well, that is a myth. Yellow shea butter is not fake. It can only be fake if it's mixed with turmeric. Then in that case, it is no more shea butter, right? Only if it mixed with turmeric, then in that case, it is not shea butter. Yes. So the yellow color of the shea butter is because of the Borututu tree bark that I mentioned earlier, which is an African plant, and it's known for its anti-inflammatory properties. It's used for curing, all sorts of ailments in Africa. So there is nothing fake about yellow shea butter. Only fake if it is mixed with turmeric. So, how are you finding all this information? Is it useful? Is it helpful? Has it clarified some of the misconception about shea butter? Boitumelo is saying Borututu. Is that the spelling? Yes, Borututu tree That is the spelling of the Borotutu. And you can read a lot about it. It's actually a very, very, very good tree that they use in it. Hence, some people prefer the yellow shea butter. I hope this session is really answering some questions for you. So yes, Boitumelo is saying so many hours just for 1 kilogram. That's amazing. And it's shocking, the amount of work that it takes and how little do we know about shea butter and how we value them. You realize you have a different sense of appreciation when you have actually been there and watched how much work it takes, to get these butters done. And I think we all should really appreciate it, especially having this opportunity to get this product in South Africa. It's not easy to bring the product here. And as we support the suppliers that go out of their way to bring these butters here, we should also remember that we are supporting the local women that are using this trade to feed their families and literally are not getting enough for all that hard work that they do. The last myth that we're going to break today is shea butter can bleach or darken your skin. I'm not sure how many of you feel that way or think shea butter actually does that. But that is not true. Shea butter does not alter your skin tone, not at all, not at all. It actually evens out your skin complexion. It fades away scars and helps with stretch marks and other, scars that you've had over the years. So shea butter does not darken the skin. Well, if it did, I think I would be much more darker than this because I've been using shea butter since I was a kid, and it really helps with skin ailments. I mean, shea butter, if you've used shea butter for anything, you would realize how effective the butter is. These days, you will have a lot of products on the market that will say shea butter this, shea butter that. But the truth is how much shea butter is in there, because immediately the shea butter is refined, the properties have been extracted into something else. And the byproduct is the refined shea butter, where mostly you find people using refined shea butters for candles, for soaps. And that is the refined shea butter that is used for that. So to get raw shea butter, just a little, even in your own body lotion, goes a long way to alter and help your skin glow and heal your skin. Because the skin, as we know, is the largest organ in the body, meaning the skin also breathes, it eats. So everything that you apply on your skin, you should be able to ingest it. And that is a takeaway from this session. Anything that you can put on your skin, you should be able to ingest it. So if you are applying lotions or anything on your skin and your hair, and you are not able to ingest it, you can drop your comment in there. Okay, so for the giveaway question, what gives yellow shea butter its color? Drop your answer. I think that is very easy, right? I mean, to win this kilogram of shea butter unrefined all the way from Ghana, Nubian Roc, we import our shea butters from Ghana. And hence, I am in the Queen's outfit today. Stand a chance to win one of these. Okay. So, am I on time? Okay. Let's do this. The current status and the future of shea butter. It's always important to get the awareness out there when it comes to the status of shea butter and actually the future of shea butter. As I mentioned earlier, it takes 20 to 30 years for the shea tree to bear fruits. That is a very long time. And as we are aware, or if you might not be aware, the shea trees cannot be grown manually by just planting trees. Like we'll say, no, we need to plant a shea tree every time. The process of planting shea tree has been challenging for agricultural, the industry. You know, the farmers have really struggled to grow the shea tree because it grows by itself. There have been ways where technology is being used in order to find a way of replanting the shea trees, but it has been very difficult to keep the shea trees to be planted. So we need to take care of the trees that are currently available, because if a tree takes 20 to 30 years to bear fruit, then you can imagine if the trees are not taken care of, what will happen. So as we get the education on shea butter, it is very important to also understand that the shea trees are in danger. And they are in danger due to deforestation and over-harvesting. Deforestation is a big issue in Africa as a whole. And that is because the trees are being cut down for firewood, for buildings. And once any shade tree gets cut down, that is 20 to 30 years loss. And to get that plant to get a plant to replace that becomes almost impossible. So we have to be aware of the dangers that faces the shea butter tree, the shea butter trees, due to the deforestation and overharvesting of the shea butter. Because if care is not taken, we could see the prices of shea butter goes higher and higher and becomes very difficult for us to enjoy what nature gave us, the precious ingredients that we have, that Mother Nature gave us. Because the tree is tree of life for a reason. Like I mentioned, the seeds is for the shea butter itself, the trees is for building, and then the leaves are for medicine. So there is so much. The nut itself is for fuel. So we have to be aware of how these trees are being endangered. And in the olden days, it was actually a taboo to cut down a shea nut tree. You'll be taken to the chiefs and will be dealt with. But these days, it's very difficult to control what is going on. So what's being done to protect these shea trees? Well, there's been fair trade cooperatives that are ensuring that women in West Africa and Central Africa are able to earn, sustainable income from the shea production, because that is the other issue that we are facing, that the women that work tirelessly every time to bring us these precious butters do not earn a minimum wage that is able to support their livelihood. Companies like Nubian Roc, we are committed, to ethically sourcing our shea butter from shea butter manufacturers that are really helping their communities and supporting their communities. So anytime you buy our shea butter, you must know that we have the women and children that are working so hard in West Africa interest at heart. Okay, I hope you are enjoying yourself so far. Another question. Where do shea trees normally grow? Anyone that knows the answer? Where do shea trees normally grow? Well, if you do, post your comments in there, and we will announce the winner at the end of the live. At the end of the live, we are going to announce the winner. I'm going to get someone who managed to answer the questions and engaged in the live session, because this is the first of many. I am going to be doing more education on shea butter and mostly on the products that we supply as Nubian Roc. So each online session will deal with a different product. And if you have joined me, I am so excited. Please follow our page, Nubian Roc, and stay tuned for more educational series, because it's very important to educate the people about this precious butter and where it comes from and how it's used, because often at times we see it and there's a lot of myths around it, and there's a lot of fakes, if I might say it that way, around shea butter, where you can't tell the difference. But then again, the question that I say, where does shea tree grows from? Depending on the region where the shea butter is coming from, there might be slight variation, slight differences. So if the shea butter is coming from East Africa, it will have different characteristics than a shea butter coming from West Africa, example, Ghana. So how do you use shea butter in your routines, your daily routine? I mean, shea butter can be used, you can have a DIY project, you can do body butters with them, you can do soaps with them, you can do so many things, with the shea butter. It's used directly. You can use it as a face moisturizer, deep conditioning for your hair. And yes, shea butter is for the hair as well. Shea butter is not only used for the face. So before I end the live show, if you are interested in shea butter, if you've been wanting to learn more about shea butter, or you are already in business with shea butter, meaning that you are selling the product or you're already doing your own DIYs, whatever the case may be, we offer the business in a box solution at Nubian Roc, where we do white labels for the shea butter. So if you are looking to earn extra income and by selling natural products, and you are looking to source reliable shea butter that is sourced from the source. When I say the source, I'm talking about me. Yes. You source your shea butter from the right source and you are interested in selling the shea butter. We have the business in a box offer that we're looking for partners that will help keep this movement going, because the more we support by selling this product and getting it out there, so that every queen, every home in South Africa will be able to experience nature's gift that is only able to grow in certain part of Africa. Southern Africa, shea butter doesn't grow. So this is the opportunity to bring this butter here and get the awareness out there in order to source these products within Africa and to empower our own. So if you would like to source the Nubian Roc shea butter, whether it's in bulk, in kilograms, we can supply up to, you name it, 10,000 kilograms. Yes, 10,000 kilograms we can supply. Any of them. We are based in Pretoria. We do the white label, and we also have the business in a box where you can sell and make commission out of it. So all you need to do is to DM me to say interested. You can comment and say interested, and I will send you the business in a box program where you are able to select the products that you want, be it white label, or if you want to start your own brand, we are able to assist you from inception of ideation until the actual product is out there. Even on website, we do everything. You just comment interested, and then I will send you the information that is needed to, you're going to earn commission immediately on your products that you sell. All you do is to get a starter kit, which is minimal, to get to try the product and see which one works for you. And then with that, we are able to be part of the movement to get this natural skin care movement going. I am so glad that you stayed tuned. This is the beginning, is the first of many. I am going to be sharing so many tips, DIY projects, some more questions, answers, anything that was not answered today. I'm going to research on that, put your comment under, and I am going to respond to your comments. I'll be sharing more information about shea butter. I'll be sharing more information about black soap. So stay tuned and follow Nubian Roc. Follow our page. Please follow our page so that you are able to get notification when we are going to go live. The next session will be next week. We're going live again, and I am going to be talking about, next week's episode actually will be about shea butter for skin versus hair. What is the difference? Yes, next week we are going to debunk the myths as well and talk about shea butter for skin versus the hair. So if you have any questions, please put it down for next week. That's what the topic is going to be about. So follow us for more shea butter education. And if you want to shop authentic shea butter, shop on our website, www.nubianroc.co.za. And again, if you want to sell shea butter and you want to join the movement, also DM me or comment below by saying interested, and I will also send you all the relevant information that you need in order to start your business. It's been such an exciting evening, and thank you everyone that participated, that joined the live. I am so happy that you were able to join today. There is going to be a lot more where this comes from. I am going to make it my weekly mission to educate people about the benefits of this product. Once again, I would like to thank you all for coming, and we have a winner today. So, boy Tumelo, Boy Tumelo 210 is our winner for today. Boy Tumelo, which of the shea butters are you interested in? Comment yellow or ivory. 1 kilogram. It takes 15 to 20 hours to produce 1 kilogram of shea butter, and Boy Tumelo has won this in 45 minutes. Yay! Thank you so much, Boy Tumelo. And for anyone else who is interested in winning, join next week. We are going to have some Q&As again. And next week, we're talking about shea butter versus the skin and the hair. That is what we're talking about next week. So I will see you next week. Thank you so much for joining, and hope you have yourself a lovely evening. And don't forget to keep the glow on, Queen. Don't forget to keep your glow on, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much for joining, and be blessed. Mwah!